Hi friends! Today we're going to play in the sensory center and we're going to make some oatmeal Play-Doh. So this is safe for little friends to make, and if they happen to put some in their mouth, it'll be okay. It won't taste great, but everything here is edible. So what I like to do when making Play-Doh or making anything that involves a recipe and ingredients, I like to write down what we'll need and the recipe. So I have here our oatmeal Play-Doh recipe. We need 3/4 cup of flour, 1/2 cup of water, 1 cup of oats, and food coloring is optional. All right, so I'm going to keep this here so I can look and see what our recipe says to do. So basically you're just going to put everything into a bowl and you're going to mix it up. It's great for little hands to help with this. It might feel kind of funny at first because this is a very doughy type of Play-Doh, so it's great for pretending to play bakery or to cook with, just all types of pretend play that they can incorporate into their sensory play too. So we're going to start with 3/4 cup of flour. All right, and I understand that ingredients and food are, some families won't be able to find flour. Some families don't really like using the food in their play, and that's okay. You don't have to do this activity. Everything is just you know, a suggestion. We're just giving you ideas to do that you might be able to incorporate at home. So 3/4 cup of flour, okay, and then we need 1 cup of oats. And if you don't want to use a whole cup, that's fine. Just cut it down a little bit. So here we have a cup of oats, and I think you can use any type of oats. It would be okay. And then I have 1/2 cup of water here. So I'm going to pour that in. And I'm going to use some food coloring, but you don't have to. I picked blue, so I'm going to put a few drops in here. And I'm going to get to mixing. So everything's in here now, and I'm going to use my hands to mix it up. Oh, it feels really squishy right now. And if it feels like it's too wet and not coming together, you could put a little more flour, but it's going to take a little while to knead it all together. All right, oh, it's coming together now. It feels really squishy. Feels like I'm playing maybe with some bread dough. All right, and just keep mixing it and mixing it. It's a little sticky on my hands, but that's okay. All right. Okay, I'm gonna just take some of this off and put it in here. It's a little stickier dough, like I said. You could always add a little bit more flour, which I'm going to do now. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little more, and I'm going to mix it in. Oh, and it's feeling much more easy to mold now. All right, so you just kind of have to play around with it. Hands will get dirty, and that's okay. So I have mine here. Some of it is still stuck to my fingers, but it's coming into this ball now. All right, so I have it here, and now we're ready to play with it. And it's great because you can feel this oatmeal texture in here. It provides a different sensory experience for your child. Also for me, this feels great. All right, so now we're ready to play with it. I'm gonna set aside this bowl, and I'm gonna just kind of knead it. I can play with it just like regular Play-Doh. I found some kitchen tools that I wanted to use to play with this. So I have a fork, and I'm just going to use my fork. I could use it to maybe squish down the Play-Doh, make tracks in the Play-Doh, or make holes. I have a butter knife, and you can give your child plastic utensils instead if you're not feeling so, if you're not sure if it'll be too safe to use these. The dough feels really great. It's not super sticky at all anymore since we added a little more flour. All right, oh, I'm gonna make a ball with mine. Okay, I also have this cool tool, which you might have at home. It's a potato masher. So you can use that while you're playing. I'm just gonna squeeze it. And what's cool is it starts to actually come through those little holes there. I don't know if you can see, but this is a fun tool to use with your sensory materials. You don't have to buy tools. You can just look in your kitchen and see what you have. I also have this, which I saved from a saran wrap inside the roller when I ran out. So I just saved this. It's a little harder and sturdier, and I'm going to use it to roll out my oatmeal dough. But this is a different type of dough that we haven't made before, so it's a new experience, and your child will like how the texture feels. You can also smell it. It smells a lot like flour and a little bit of oatmeal. And when you're done, you can keep it in a Ziploc bag or another container, airtight container, and put it in your fridge to extend the shelf life. Usually what I like to do also is write down the date that I made the Play-Doh or whatever it is you made, and then that way you know if you might need to make a new batch. But that's it. And this is our oatmeal Play-Doh. I'm going to bring it a little closer so everyone can see. And it's so much fun to squish it, to roll it. All right, friends, I hope you had fun watching this sensory center video on how to make oatmeal Play-Doh and how to play with it. Bye, friends.